So our last part of this series on the jig heads anyways is baking the powder paint. So we've poured the lead head, we've painted it with powder paint using a heat source and letting the powder paint adhere to it. But the final key here is baking the powder paint on there. And what that does is create a rock hard, chip proof finish on the jigs. This here is nothing more than a toaster oven I picked up at Walmart for like 29 bucks or something several years ago. Inside there is like a little $4 temperature gauge, because these toaster ovens with these little spin dials are a little bit less than accurate. So, but basically, powder paint needs to be baked, and CSI component systems, Protect powders. They have good information you can look up on the internet about how long to bake paints. A lot of people say you need to do different colors at different temperatures and time periods. I'm kind of a low and slow guy myself. I like to bake it for 300, 325 for about 45 minutes. That way I know it's really bonded with the jig head itself, and I'm going to get a good hard finish. And if you've done it right, you can take the jig out of the oven when it's done and it's cooled off. You can take it and drop it out here on concrete. If the paint doesn't just crack and chip off immediately, then you've got a good hard finish on there. But baking's a critical step. And then once you get done with that, you can take the jigs out of the oven. And we do the drop test. And basically all I do with the drop test, I'll take a jig out here and drop her on the floor. And what I'll do is I'll reach down here and pick her up and inspect it. And that jig's perfect. There's no, in fact, the lead actually dented a little bit, but the paint didn't crack at all. It didn't scratch, it didn't do anything. That gives you a jig head that's not going to have the paint chipped off in 10 casts. So basically, these are ready to go. These shaky heads here. Again, all you need really is a toaster oven. You can pick them up anywhere. Walmart's a good place. It's nice that they come with these bread racks and you can hang the jigs on them. I've actually seen some also that have holders on the bottom. But for this toaster oven, I don't know if that would be a good one or not, because the heating elements are so close to the bottom down there. But a key to baking jigs also is not to get too much paint on there. Like we said in our painting video, you want to put the least amount of paint on there as you can, because if you get too much paint on there, when you take these jigs off and look at them, what will happen is you'll have this drip that forms down at the bottom, where all the excess paint is kind of melted and gone down and dripped off the bottom of the jig, and you get a real funky looking jig with some funky color on it. So like I say, you just want to get the least amount of paint on there, bake it for a good long time at a pretty hot temperature, and you're going to get some really good jigs.